Hello everybody, welcome to Club Live here on Club at 22, the Rangers podcast. We are live on YouTube tonight as we welcome the return of Rangers League football on Sunday. So yes, I am Scott Carney and tonight joining me is Alistair Pearson. Ali, how are you?
Yeah, not too bad. It's the weekend, as you say. Rangers are back on Sunday, Carney. What version of Rangers I'm going to see on Sunday, I couldn't tell you, to be honest. But yes, looking forward to having them back. Hopefully, don't ruin my weekend.
Well, at least it's the end of your weekend, so you only have Sunday to suffer, mate. Aye. And Ross McLean. Ross, how's it going?
Good evening, gents. Good evening, chat. Yeah, Rangers are back, mate. I don't know how to feel about that. We'll see you again on Sunday. Quick apologies if the microphone is sounding horrible this evening. It's just died on me. But hello everyone in the chat, and yeah, plenty to talk about as always.
Yes, as always, mate, there's plenty to get into. So, yeah, we are going to first finish the Q&A that we done last week. There were still questions overhanging from that from our Patreon members, so I will very much get through them as quickly as we can, and then we'll come on and talk about the latest Rangers news as well as previewing the upcoming Dundee United game. Just a quick plug for our Patreon. We have launched on Patreon, plenty of content there this week. Really good feedback about Club 101 that Jamie and myself done. It was a good pod to do, like Rumo 101, but with a bit of a twist. Once we've completed that full series, I've had everybody's on to have their inputs done. We'll get a vote done and we'll do a show at the end where we announce the winners of each category, if you like. And the club transfer years as well was on last night with Ali and Nicky as they were on episode 3, is that right, Ali, of the Dick Advocat signings? Yeah, Dick Advocat signings. So it was the 2000-2001. Obviously Club Nights was over there as well, so please go and check that out. Right, gents, let's get into proceedings, and we will start with the remainders of the Q&A from last week. We'll start with one from Andrew Muir. Ali, he said, do you lads have a favourite Rangers related video / song of more rewarding times?
Oof. A video?
What's one YouTube video you put on? Not the one that I would think you're going to say, not that one, like a Rangers one.
Subscribe to the Patreon and you'll find out exactly what I listen to. That's for a platinum level. Kind of video that I watched with Rangers. It's the video I probably watch is it's not even one of us putting balls in the back of the net. It's the 10-minute video after the Leipzig game at Ibrox, which you can get on YouTube. That one. I watch that one usually before big games that we are playing. And in terms of songs at the moment, I do like that Caledonia one that we've remixed, Carney. I'm still, as you know, learning all the words to it. I'm getting there slowly, but when we went to Germany, to Berlin to watch them, and that song was just sang the whole time. You'd think it would stick in my head then, but I still struggle with the words sometimes. It's that long a song, to be honest, but yes, I do quite like that one at the moment. I wasn't overly fussed on it, but it grew on me, that song. So yes, I do like that song. And Blue Sea of Ibrox is another one I like when I go to my seat at Ibrox. I do like that one.
Yeah, I've got a favourite Rangers song. I do like the new one, to be honest. As I say, you're right, mate, in Berlin. We must have sang that for about 25 minutes, man. It didn't stop. It kept going on and on. That's particularly good. But a Rangers video, the one in most recent times that I've watched countless times, maybe not so much obviously now that he left, but was when Gerrard was brought into Ibrox for the first time when he got out the van at the dugout. I watched that video so many times. I really did watch it plenty. And you were actually in that video, Alistair. I spotted you in that video. You were in the crowd. Many be at work, mate. You naughty boy. Aye, you got a customer in there, aye. But no, I watched that quite a lot. Ross, any that stand out for you?
Rangers videos, I think boring answer. Before an Old Firm, you can't beat watching highlights. Unfortunately, I've not watched the highlights of the last few years, but we'll park it at that. I think favourite song, I like the Saturday Night Scotty Arfield Lads. I'm not going to lie, that was one that would be on the car on the way to and from the game. So, aye, Mr. Saturday Night for me.
Magic, mate. Yes, thank you very much for your question, Andrew. Ian M asked, "What's your thoughts on a Scottish manager that at least knows the game and game and players? Stevie Naismith, Derek McInnes." I'll go first. Stevie Naismith better be nowhere near Rangers ever again. Literally ever again. I cannot stand the man. He broke my heart. I've said that in numerous podcasts previously. He is Judas as far as I'm concerned, and he's not welcome anywhere near Rangers. But no, not for me. Derek McInnes, Ross, that's always one that I think people they see it as a steady hand, I think, when things aren't really going our way. I think there's something to be said in terms of a Scottish manager that knows the game. However, I don't think, in my opinion, and it might be my ignorance, that I don't think Derek McInnes would be the guy that would take Rangers to the next level.
Nah, neither, mate. I think the last few managers have been, other than Beale, obviously, have been from overseas. I don't know if that's maybe I look at, are they maybe more experienced in Europe? Are they, or are we just, kind of similar to the talking about the other week about the Scottish players? Are we just rubbing our nose up at Scottish managers? But no, I think if McInnes came in, I don't think I'd have much confidence. I think Clement is, again, I don't want to harp on the same as last week, but he's here and he's here for a while by the looks of it. I think if Clement doesn't work out and there's a Scottish manager to whoever it may be, it might be a chance to give it a try, but it's a tough one to think about just now, mate. Seeing that Clement's pretty secured down, but I no doubt McInnes for me.
Ali, would you take McInnes if things were to go south with Clement?
Pity Mr. Haymarch isn't on tonight because
that's
I know
true.
he probably would take Mr. McInnes if it went all tits up this season. And let's not start negative, but there's a good chance it could. Derek McInnes, the thing that'll come back with Derek McInnes is he knocked us back before, and a lot of folks say if you knock Rangers back, you shouldn't be asked twice. There was other circumstances when he was asked at the time, I would probably imagine, but if he came in, he'd probably organise his can. He'd probably make us hard to beat. I mean, he's turned a poor Kilmarnock team into a reasonable team. I know they've not started well in the league, but I watched them in Europe. I thought they were reasonably all right in Europe against the teams they played. If had more money to Rangers, he'd probably do a reasonable job. Whether he's a guy to take us to the next level, I don't know. But I wouldn't turn my nose up at a Scottish manager or a British manager going forward. But I agree with Ross. Clement, I think, is here for at least this season.
Yeah, I think yes. I think the board have made that quite clear that he'll be here for at least this season, just due to the way things panned out over the summer. So yeah, I wouldn't expect him to go anywhere soon. I've messed these questions up a little bit, so if I miss any, I do apologise. There's a couple regarding. I've kind of tie a couple in together here about the surprise Shankland debate of whether we should have signed Lauren Shankland or not. I've said my bit on this previously that I don't think he's the silver bullet that we think he is. I don't think he's the guy that's going to all of a sudden put us into the stratosphere. I think he would score goals for us, yes, but I think there's so much hype round about him that I would have the fear that he would just be destined to fail, because if he has a bad couple of games to start his Rangers career, then before you know it, the people that didn't want to sign Shankland will be having their say about the people that did, yada yada, typical old Rangers fans disagreeing with each other. But for me, no, I've always said from the get-go when the conversation was coming out about Shankland and Majowski that I would have went with Majowski all day long, but he was clearly out of our budget considering what Aberdeen managed to get for him. Maybe he wasn't out of our budget, but it would have blown a sizable chunk of our budget onto him. Ali, Shankland, should we?
I'm kind of in your camp, Carney, to be honest. Shankland, yeah, he's a decent striker for Hearts. He scores a lot of goals. He would probably score goals for us. I think it's the money Hearts were looking for, and I don't think Rangers were prepared to pay it. I kind of agree. He's in the last year of his contract. It'll be interesting when we hit January where we're at in terms of Danilo's miles away. Do we bring a striker in January? Do we go back at Hearts because he's in the final 5-6 months of his contract? So I wasn't upset that we didn't get Shankland. I agree with you. I would have rather went with Miovski, but he's obviously went for the best part of £7 million, which is good business for Aberdeen. But nah, Shankland, I think he would do all right, but I wouldn't lose sleep over it.
Ross?
I'm in the same boat as you, lads, not gonna lie. I think when a player in the SPFL is scoring goals, we're obviously going to be like, oh, let's just go and get him. It happened the same with Van Veen, and those folks saying get Van Veen in. I obviously saw Shankland last season scoring a lot of goals. But for me, at the moment, boys, I know Hearts are playing bad, but that's last season Shankland. You know, this season, I think he's picked up an assist, I think, in the opening games. So he's not exactly sort of highlight. So I think I'm trying to link him with the comments. Where do they lie in terms of Dessers and Danilo? For me, I'd stick with Dessers and Danilo. If I had the chance just now, I'd stick with them. I know it might be controversial, I'll take the manager's points off, but I think with what we've got, I wouldn't see Shankland make not he would make a big impact, but I don't think he'd live up to the hype that the fans have, expected that he would do. And you're right, mate. See, as soon as he, scuffs a few chances in the first few games, it'll be Shankland out, whatever. But no, mate, I don't think he's coming to, so we won't need to worry about it. But nah, not for me, gents, unfortunately.
The Danilo and Dessers shout about is Shankland better? It's a fair shout. I'm not going to say that it isn't. I think the track record that Shankland's got in the league, I get that. However, we can't just sign Shankland and then just have Danilo and Dessers just sitting there due to the way that the clubs run. Pretty much, we can't have these guys on that amount of wages. Dessers will be on a considerable wage, as will Danilo. I'd imagine they're on pretty tidy wages, both of them. So, because it was Michael Beale that signed these players, so. You've got to kind of weigh things up. We signed Dessers. They signed Danilo? Who signed Danilo?
Michael Beale.
So that's what I mean. So they're on decent wages. With Shankland coming in, it would have been left as a wee bit too many in that area. Danilo's obviously had an injury, so he wasn't going to go anywhere. The manager was pretty keen, I think, on getting Igamani into the club. I think that was clear that he wanted him. That was a guy that he'd clearly identified that he wanted to go after and got him. And then you're left with Dessers, and okay, there was no solid concrete offer made for him, so you're kind of like, well, unless he did knock back interest from was it America? Wasn't it America that came in for him, and he's not interested in going there? So we can't just sign players. For example, if Dessers would have went, yeah, probably I would have said let's take a punt on Shankland and see where it gets us. But just to go out and sign him, I don't think it was ever really on the cards, and I'm still not 100% sure that Clement even fancies him. We don't know that. Obviously, Clement's not going to come out and say, oh, I'm all for that guy or I'm not for that guy, but I think as he's coming towards the end of his contract, Shankland's probably going to have a decision to make. Will there be an agreement for him to come to Rangers? Very possibly. I don't know that. But for me, I just think it's a wee bit overhyped. And I'm trying not to be ignorant about the rest of Scottish football, but I just feel like it's a different ball game playing for Rangers against a back 10. He doesn't play against a back 10 in the league. All these teams that play Hearts all go for it. Do you know what I mean? So for me, it's like, and people, when I've seen in the comments, well, people say, oh, he scores against Celtic. Yeah, he does. Yeah, fair enough. But is that really the reason to go out and sign him? I'm not 100% sure. I say, to back up that I'm not turning my nose up with Scottish football, I 100% would have signed Miovski from Aberdeen. Absolutely zero doubt about it. And I would have been delighted if we'd went and done that signing. So, but it's one, I suppose, that will run on this Shankland thing until he decides where his future's going to be it at Hearts or be it elsewhere. But that was tied into True and Blue 44, and who else asked about that? Gary Whitelaw as well, so that was kind of both of your questions kind of tied together, so I appreciate that. Billy McWhirter has asked, hey guys, bit of a slow one this, do you think, slow one for me this, but do you think we should change our tactics at Parkhead, make it more tighter at the back and the midfield, the way teams line up at Ibrox, going toe-to-toe with with them isn't working, in brackets. Sorry, Ryan. Ali, what do you make of that? Should we be a pro? See, for me, I don't like it because it shows them too much respect. I don't like Rangers to set up defensive against any team, no matter who we're playing. Again, might be naivety in my regard. There is no doubt when we pressed them for that 8 to 10 minutes, yes, we've won the 8 to 10 minutes award. I 100% I get that. We won absolutely hee-haw in the game. I get that as well. But when you kind of have a go at them, they didn't really seem to like it, and unfortunately we didn't capitalise when we got the chance, and then we absolutely collapsed. For me though, going there, set up, say we went to 5-3-2, for me, I'm like, I think it shows them far too much respect, and let's be honest, they're much better at beating a back 10 than we are.
Yeah, we don't have the players currently to go to Parkhead and soak it up. If we went there and sat off them and played a back five or whatever it is, I still think the outcome would be the same. I think Celtic would just break through us. I don't think we have got the players to do it. I think we need to do what we did. I know it was for 10 minutes, Carney, but similar to that, I'd like to think next time we play Celtic, and it is a long way away. It's in January the 2nd we play them at Ibrox. Obviously you'll have Barjani in, hopefully. The boy for Farnard, hopefully playing. The team will be knitted together for a good few months. So you'd like to think we'll see a different Rangers by then. Clement has promised us that we will see a different Rangers by October, November. So I am looking forward to that. But yeah, I wouldn't set off them, Carney. I know what you're saying, showing them too much respect, but we are not good enough to go to. When we grew up, Carney, under Sir Walter, where we would go to Parkhead, get battered off them, but we would nick a goal because we could do it. We were solid at the back. We were solid in the midfield. We could soak it up. We had a good goalkeeper behind us. We don't have that in this team. No. So, no, I don't think we're capable of doing that going to Parkhead.
No, I agree with that as well, mate. I do 100% agree with that I don't think we actually have the players capable of carrying out a task like that. And I suppose if you play that from the start and they do get an early goal or they get an early couple of goals, what do you do at that point? Do you know what I mean? You make wholesale changes and change the shape and all that about, and your game plan goes right out the window. So I don't think it would be good in terms of a spectacle. And I think realistically, not many fans are going to accept it. I don't think we shout already about how much we stand off Celtic when we play them, and every time it happens they beat us because that's exactly what they do. It's like you give them space, you give them time, they've got the quality to knock the ball about, beat you, move you about and score a goal. And it's the same goal that we see over and over again at every Old Firm. So no, for me that's not something I want to entertain. Ross, what's your thoughts on that?
I think if we were to line it like that, it almost in a way wouldn't be an Old Firm. And what I mean by that is that, you know, from the people in the stand, the fans, to the players in the park, it should be right up for it, right? You know, like you're buzzing. I think if we were to go there and sit off them, as you say, give them the respect, it's not what, you know, Walter here today, look at that and he'd laugh at it, you know. It's the old Firm's all about, you know, it's the 4 games of the year minimum that it's complete toe to toe. And as much as we're not very good at it, it's how it should be. So yeah, I can't see it happening. But we need to find some way to beat them, put it that way. So that's up to Clement.
That is up to Clement. There's got to be some form of change, I think. And as I say, I'm hoping, I think it's more hope than anything, that I hope that he figures something out that's going to work and it's going to be able to take us forward. I've missed one, but guys, we kind of already answered it. So we're speaking about Clement and Scottish management. So if we get rid of Clement, so we did kind of answer that. But thank you for your questions, and I think that is everybody. I think I've made it to end. If I'd missed any, blame Alistair. His email address is alipearson@club@22podcast.com, and he'll answer your complaints because it's all Alistair's fault. All right, but that will do us on the Q&A. Thank you everybody for getting involved in that. Really do appreciate when we do a Q&A, and even so much that we had to run it into tonight's show, but I do like to answer them all, so hopefully I've done so. We'll move on to more present Rangers matters, gentlemen. First of all, I'll catch up with a few bits that we done on club nights during the week. Obviously, not everybody's over on Patreon, so we'll catch up on it just now. Ali, the one thing I want to talk about is, or one thing I want to get your opinion on is Johnstone cutting the away allocation for their trip to Perth. Why do Scottish teams do this? Why is this game? Why is the members in this league doing its best to hate itself to death? I do not understand this for a single second, because they will not fill their stadium, and they are turning their nose up at money. They're also turning their nose up at fans going to their local area to promote, to help give a boost to their local economy. If you like, the businesses round about, the bars round about, the bears will go for a drink. Why do Scottish teams do this?
Well, they just add them to the list of these other teams that have cut allocations. Hibs can't fill their ground. They're a joke of a club. And they do it to Celtic as well. It's not just us, it's the two of us. St Johnstone, their chairman's basically saying to their fans, Carney, that come and support us, but we know they won't. I'd love to know where these fans, St Johnstone got to 2 cup finals only a few seasons ago and won them, and well done to them for doing that. And when they get to semis and finals at Hampden, like I say, they'll bring 10, 11, 12,000 fans. But when they play their home games week in, week out at McDiarmid Park, I'd love to know what their season ticket, it must be, I'm guessing here, I don't know, 2,000-3,000 fans potentially that have season tickets. So where's the rest of these people that go to see them only in cup finals? I just think Scottish football, there's not very much money in it. There's no money in it for these smaller clubs. So if you've got the big two coming, Livingston was a good example of when they won the top flight, that they would just sell the whole ground if they could to Rangers and Celtic, because they would make money on it. That's how these teams should look at it. And it doesn't look good, Carney, when you've got it's on Sky Sports and people around the world watch this against, if we go and play St Johnstone or Celtic play St Johnstone and there's big empty holes in the ground. That's why I referred to Hibs. You play Hibs. Hibs think they're a big team. They're not a big team. Hearts can actually fill the ground, but Hibs can't. And you go there, even Celtic go there as well, and their ground is absolutely empty. So if these clubs want to do it, go on. It doesn't bother us. It doesn't affect us. But yeah, if that's the way they want to do it, then crack on. But it is the normal paying fan, away fan, Rangers and Celtic fans, they're the guys that get hit because they want to go and support a team, and a lot of them won't be able to do it going forward.
Yeah, obviously I don't go to many away games now. I used to, and it was much easier then to get a ticket than it is now. But I don't go to as many away, so there's no doubt about it. It doesn't directly affect me. But Ross, I think it's more the effect on the entire game, as Ali mentioned. The way it looks from the outsiders looking in, like how tin pot does that look? Oh no, we can't have loads of Rangers and Celtic fans coming and making our club some money. It kind of boggles my mind. Livingston are probably the best ones at it, because they give us 3 stands, because Livingston are like, thank you very much, we'll sell this at 30 quid a ticket, 32 quid a ticket. They'll sell the place out in terms of the away support. And that's for me just the way to do it. It's not Rangers and Celtic fault that we have the biggest support groups, travelling support groups in Scotland, but these clubs are turning their nose up at it. It's a bit bizarre for me in terms of a business sense. Are we just being Rangers dads, Ross, or are you in agreement with us?
No, complete agreement. For a Rangers home top in the stands looks similar to St Johnstone top, so they've lost one there. At least on TV, it looked a bit like it. But it's even, you're right, because it works from, it's top down. It's from the game to the locals to the I don't know, the buses, whatever. There's folk losing custom, and it's again, I wonder what it'd be like from a St Johnstone point of view if it is just big old Rangers. It's we'll do our thing, but no, it makes very little sense. I don't think in a way it necessarily, the result maybe won't change it, like whether there's fans in the stadium or not. I don't know if it's just a case of St Johnstone fans kind of know what's going to happen. Although I say that, and I've now tempted fate, lads, so I apologise for that. But But it is a baffling one, mate. And fair play to your likes of Livy if they give us the stands. But mate, it's all about just, I guess, same old getting up there, getting 3 points and getting back.
Yeah, AG made a comment here that honestly I don't fully understand. To be honest, it looks really tin pot having 3 stands away fans as well, though. Try to look at it things objectively instead of purely through Rangers terms. No offence, mate. Generally, I get where you're coming from, but I will always look at things through Rangers terms because that's what I do. That's what we all do. That's why we run a podcast in the nicest possible way, mate. So, to me, I think it looks ridiculous having an empty stadium and a packed away section of a small, tiny bit, and the rest of the stadium's empty. I think that looks way worse. So for me, I'll always look through things through the eyes of Rangers and what's best for Rangers. It's always going to be the case. Unfortunately, it's always going to be the case. Ali, the UEFA Europa League package came out. I nearly said Champions League there. No. The Europa League came out. The package is £168, so which works out as £42 a ticket for each home game. I'm not going to lie, mate. I expected no change out of £200, so egg on my face a little bit. I think that's very reasonable. I'm not going to lie. I think most people will say that that's pretty reasonable because they could have absolutely ripped the biscuit.
Yeah, I was actually speaking to Stuart Work today about it, and he was asking if they come out yet, and I says, no, not yet. And I said, the same as you, I thought it would be round about the £200 mark. He did say one of his pals actually is a Celtic fan. I don't know why he's got pals that are Celtic fans. Only joking. But he, for their Champions League, his was £176 or something like that. I don't know if that's a concession one, and I thought that was reasonable, to be fair. But yeah, I was thinking 200, and I did say to him at the time, I remember when we got into the Champions League a couple of years ago, and Rangers priced it at the very, very top bracket in terms of what they could, and they came out and says we got it wrong. So I was hoping they would think of the fans and what's happened this season, and I agree. I think it's pretty reasonable. £42 a ticket, European ties, good European ties as well. And the other good thing they've done as well, Carney, which I've said in a couple of podcasts before, is they're not whipping out £168 out your account straight away. They're going to do it based on going to the games, so it'll come out gradually, which I think's a very good idea as well. So, yes, I know everyone loves a bit of negativity in this podcast, but I'm going to bring some positivity and say, well done, Rangers.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I think the board have done well there. Yes, you heard me right. I think the board have done well there. I think they have. I think they've made the right decision. I think that's very reasonable, and not even to think £45. They've actually done 42, which I honestly think is perfectly reasonable. I really do. I think that's, considering you pay £32 for like an away ticket or something like that. I think it works out as in some stadiums to do 42 for European. Yeah, and take it out and kind of split it between 4 payments. Very good. Ross, what's your thoughts? I think.
Sorry, Carney. Just before Ross comes in, I was going to ask though, the smart cards aren't been activated, and I noticed this for the cup game against Dundee coming up on Saturday next week, and for these European games, it's QR codes, so it's not your smart card. So it would be good, and I know Rangers don't talk to the fans, but it would be good if they come out and told us why the smart cards aren't being activated.
Yeah, it's bizarre. It's a bit strange. I think it will come out in the wash. Somebody will ask the club about that. It'll come out, but no, I noticed that as well. That's a bit bizarre. Why would they not? Yeah. Why would they not just activate that? There'll be some reasoning behind it, mate. Whether it's to do with the work that's happened in the Copeland or something like that, I don't know. Maybe that's not been set up properly. Or again, I don't know. I would just be purely guessing at that point. That'll come out though. That'll be cleared up. I would imagine you would like to think anyway. Ross, your thoughts on the package and what me and Alistair think's a good decision by the board, which is very rarely said.
Saves my money for the fourth kit, lads. They know what they're doing. I mean, I'm chuffed with it. When you think about it in the grand scheme of football terms today, your Tottenham's whatever, you're gonna. It's not gonna. It's not 20 quid a head and you come. It's going to be fair money, but I think the club's done it spot on. Is it it's probably, I don't know what a gesture to the fans would have been, but it's definitely maybe not far off it in terms of, again, the grand scheme of things of football pricing. So I mean, it's definitely the board can they can have their praise for now. But yeah, mate, absolutely for the fixtures themselves, absolutely buzzing for them. It's going to be class. We know that the managers all over what nights at Ibrox, then it will be at Ibrox as well. That's the other thing. So, goosebumps just thinking about it, mate. But fair play to the board.
Yeah, flip out the board, and I'm looking forward to it as well. Look, you always look forward to European competition. How we got on in that European competition is another matter, but there's always something special about going to Ibrox for a European night. There's absolutely no doubt, and the ticket prices are pretty reasonable. So, yes, well done, Mr. Rangers. That's our balls up avoided there. Speaking of balls, see that? Do you see what I done there? Did you see what I done there? It's time for a word from our sponsors. This episode is brought to you by the top team in men's grooming, Manscaped. This season, don't just watch the best, be the best with the ultimate grooming tools. With the Manscaped Performance Package 5.0, keep your balls smooth and ready for play, because whether it's football or anything else, you don't want to be caught with a rough touch. Head over to manscaped.com, join over 10 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped by using code CLUBAT22 for 20% off and free shipping. Meet your new marquee signing this season. The Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra is like having the best groundskeeper in the league for your own personal pitch. This trimmer comes with 2 interchangeable next-gen skin-safe blade heads, one for trimming and a new foil blade for the smooth finish wherever you need it most. Keep your pitch perfectly smooth. This waterproof wonder is ready for anything, even a cold, wet night in Dingwall. Its compact case makes it an ideal companion for any away day or last-minute plans. No matter where you go, you can stay sharp and match ready. The Weed Whacker 2.0 ear and nose hair trimmer is your star defender, keeping those pesky ear and nose hairs out of play so you stay looking sharp. Keep your confidence high with the Crop Soother Ball Aftershave Lotion and Crop Preserver Anti-Chafing Ball Deodorant, because even the best players need a little extra support to stay fresh all day, both on and off the pitch. The Performance Package 5.0 Ultra also comes with 2 free gifts: the Boxers 2.0 Midnight Bravo and the Shed 2.0 Toiletry Bag. Premium gear to ensure you're always ready for action. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code CLUB@22 at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping with the code CLUB@22 at manscaped.com. Ali, what will your balls do?
They will thank you.
They will thank you. Thank you very much to Manscaped for their continued support of this podcast. Very much appreciated, and their stuff is genuinely top drawer. Right, gentlemen, we'll move on to much more present things as the turn of Rangers action is quickly upon us, with us travelling to Dundee on Sunday at 12 o'clock kickoff, which is brilliant. Everybody loves a noon kickoff. There was a press conference today. Obviously, the manager and Barjami spoke to the press. A few things to pick out I think we should speak about before we come to the actual preview of the Dundee United game, and also give our teams and our scores. But the manager's defence of James Tavernier, he said it's all about how the captain responds to adversity, or it's all about how he responds to the criticism coming his way, and it's part of his job, if you like, as Rangers captain, to take that criticism when it happens. He says it's not a nice part of the job, but it's the world that we live in. Ali, what did you make of the manager's comments at James Tavernier, and what does it say, do you think, about the future of him? I think there is a lot of clamour for James Tavernier to be kind of dropped just now due to the form that he is in. Clement has already said that he was best statistically for the Old Firm game, but that matters not a jot because the bar was very, very low, in my opinion. So pulling something like that out is like what one was the most blunt nail, if that makes sense. It's kind of irrelevant. It doesn't matter. But what's your opinions on the defence of James Tavernier from Clement, and do you see him making the call to not play Tavernier going forward or on Sunday anyway?
Tav will start on Sunday, 100%. I'll just get that one out there. Clement, I mean, he was never going to come out and say, I agree with that fan that stood outside Ibrox that abused Tav. So he's sticking up for his player, and he would do that for pretty much most players at Ibrox. He's the captain, so he is sticking up for him. like I said previously, Karen, when we did club nights a couple of nights ago, what happened to Tav? I don't agree with it. You can shout and say what you want when you're in the stadium at players, but I don't think you should be going down and abusing a guy as much as poor as he's been. I don't think he should be doing that. But yeah, he's backing him. I knew he'd back him. And like I say, he'll play him. He's the captain of Rangers. I don't see him dropping him. I think it would be a huge call if he dropped him and played a Sterling at right back, for instance. But he's not. And as I said, Carney, the worrying thing for me is if we drop points, if it is Dundee United or a couple of games down the road, he is the whipping boy. Tav should have left in the summer, but he's here. And I kind of fear for him. I fear for him if this season turns, because as I say, he will be the whipping boy, but he will start on Sunday.
Do you think that's right for him to start on Sunday, though, Ali?
If I take him just as a player and he's not the captain of Rangers, he shouldn't start because for his performances. So for me, he shouldn't. Sterling, or the new boy, who I cannot pronounce his name yet, should be playing at right back. So I don't think he should play, but I think he will because he'll think, oh, he's the captain of Rangers. That's why he won't drop him. So it's a dangerous one. It's a dangerous game to play because, like I say, Karen, if we did drop points on Sunday, and I hope we don't, I hope we go out and do a good performance, it's going to get even worse. It'll get even worse. It'll get more toxic for him, and I don't think it's fair on him. A guy that's given us some great moments in his Rangers career, a guy, and I repeat, who cost £200,000 for Wigan away back when we won a championship. So, as a footballer, just look at him as a footballer, he should be dropped. But I don't think Clement will. And I know he's done big calls before with Goldson, but I don't think he will with this one.
My concern about James Tavernier continue to play is, again, I'm reiterating and kind of painting the wall of stuff that I've said before, but I think he knows he's not the same that he was, and I think it's affecting him mentally and his confidence-wise. I think you can see it in him. I think he knows that he's lost that yard and he's not the same player that he used to be, and you can't really expect him to be, considering how many miles are on his clock. I know he's not the oldest player, but he's played a lot of football for Rangers, like a lot of football. 60-odd games a season is a lot for anybody, really is a lot for anybody, no matter who you are. So it's in that regard, I don't think stripping of the captaincy achieves anything. I really don't. I just don't see the point in that. I think when he goes, he'll not be the captain anymore. I don't think doing it before that makes any great difference. I do think Clement should be brave, Ross, and put Tavernier just out of, not of harm's way, but just out of his own way. I think maybe his own way just now, and just give him a bit of time on the sidelines. But I don't think he will. As Ali said, I think he will start. The bit that's concerning me is what we're going to do with Sterling. I think Sterling deserves a run in his most natural position, and with Tavernier there, I don't think he's going to get that. I don't think he'll get that consistent run at right back. I want to see him at right back. I think most Rangers fans want to see him at right back, and ultimately we still need to see if Sterling is actually going to be good enough. And I mean no disrespect there, but we still need to see if he is the guy that's going to be our successor at right back. So what do you think? Do you think Clement is brave enough to drop Tavernier, and what does it say if he doesn't, and what does it say for Sterling if he chooses not to drop Tavernier?
Yeah, I think if Tavernier's name was John Sterling, he'd be dropped. If it wasn't James Tavernier, the captain, unfortunately, like you say, the miles that he's clocked, the position that he plays, what is expected of him, he wouldn't be in the team. And that's, you could also include that with the numbers as well, because this season has not been as impressive as not just last season, but the last few seasons. I think with Sterling, I'd love to see him at right back. I would. One can, and again, lads, it's a Rangers thing. Can Sterling play the games that Tav can, sorry, in terms of like the actual quantity. Obviously, Clement said that he's not going to play, the amount of games that he's played previously. But Sterling's had a few injuries, which is a bit concerning. I know that Cashin Virgil, the boy we've brought in, can he come in and I think he can play. I think he can play all across the back line. So could that be something to try at right back? I think spot on with yourself and Ali. He'll play tomorrow. There's a decent comment that came up actually that he might get rest in the cup games. That could work. But I think I don't know if this is just from the amount of time he's been here, but I don't know about you lads. As long as Tavernier's the captain, as long as he's here, I reckon he plays. Unless he's obviously injured. I've yet to see a world where Tavernier's dropped, and at the moment it looks like I doubt I ever will, because he can have performances like the weekend, and he'll be almost the first name in the team sheet, I imagine, for Clement. Clement's a guy who's we've seen in the past, as I mentioned with Goldson, with Campbell as well. He's definitely not scared to, but I think he as a manager, and probably as a guy as well with him, will want to keep that relationship with his captain strong. So it's a tricky one. It's frustrating as fan. We can all see it. Whether Clement sees the same that we are seeing, I'm not sure. But for Sterling, you'd potentially be quite frustrated for Sterling. I think he played 80 minutes last weekend, so he's getting a good run in the team. Spoiler alert, he's on my team for this week. I think Sterling will play as well, but again, it's just that right back spot is Tav's for it will be Tav's for the foreseeable, and yeah, there's nothing more you can say to it, because you know the inevitable is going to happen. He's going to be number 2, James Tavernier, on that team sheet on Sunday.
Yeah, I agree. I do think, whether I think it's right or wrong, I do think he will start on Sunday. And Ali, I suppose as well, look, and I know it's the manager's job. We've all worked in places where a new manager will come in and they like the person that's been there quite long, whether they're good or not at their job or not. They kind of remain because they have been there kind of so long. They are the kind of trendsetter, if you like, the morale setter, the guy that, and he must. There's been including Gerrard. There's now 4 managers that have had him as their captain. He must show leadership. There must be something that he shows in terms of leadership. You can't just be the captain because you've been at the club that long, if that makes sense. Because again, you would have gave it to Alan McGregor at that point. Do you know what I mean? If that was the terms and conditions of being the Rangers captain. Do you think maybe Clement's just a wee bit cautious of rocking the boat a little bit too much, considering the way the start of the seasons went, and he's thinking the first thing I need to do is make sure that, not that Tav plays, but Tav's. I'm struggling to get into terms what I mean. Not to disrespect Tav in front of the rest of the dressing room, basically, is maybe what Clement's thinking is. Does that make sense?
Yeah, potentially. I mean, we don't see Tav in a dressing room. We don't see him in training, what he's like. We don't know what he's like round about the players. Like you say, he must have some leadership qualities in terms of he's been under 4 managers. But I look at him as, I take the captaincy completely out of the equation. I just look at him as a football player right now for Rangers, and he's not performing. So anyone else in that park, if they weren't performing, they'd be dropped. So
yeah, it's true.
Why should he not be dropped? Because he's the Rangers captain, and I think he should be dropped. I like Tav. Folk know that listen to this podcast that I like Tav. I've always liked Tav. I will say he should have left in the summer. I think he's now on the downward spiral of a player in terms of his age, miles on the clock. I don't think he should be playing for Rangers at this present point because he's not performing for Rangers. I think Sterling should be given a run in the team to see, as I agree with you, is he good enough to be the Rangers right back going forward? I agree with Ross. Can he play what Tav plays this season, the previous seasons, in terms of week in, week out for Rangers? Can his body do that? So he should be dropped for me. Clement should make a statement and drop him. But Clement, I don't know how Clement his presser, can he? He's starting to waffle a bit for me in pressers, and he's done it in a few pressers this season, and it's given me red flags. And I don't think he will on Sunday.
I agree. I think that leads us on to Berjami. He obviously spoke to the press again, the usual kind of things as you would expect from a new signing. Never much you can take from a player's interview, I don't think, or a player's press conference. They're all kind of trained on what to say and what not to say. However, when Clement was asked about him, he said he's obviously been away on international duty. He's had one training session today, and he'll obviously train with the team tomorrow as well.
He's got furniture to build as well, can't he, for his new flat too?
Ali, I did get the feeling of Clement was beating around the bush a little bit about whether he says he would make that call and whether to start him or not. See, for Clement's sake on Sunday, Bajrami better start. I don't think that's really up for debate. You don't go out and sign a player in the last day of the transfer window for a reported $4 million and not play the guy. I think when he started his comments, I was going, whoa, where are you going? Where are you going? Don't make an excuse before you've. Do you know what I mean? Just don't make that excuse. He shouldn't even have mentioned, he doesn't know the players' name. It doesn't really, it's irrelevant whether he knows the players' names or not. For his own sake, he better start. Tom Lawrence better not be in the 10 role on Sunday from the start. That's all I'm saying. He has to play him.
He has to start. I'm sick of hearing players that come to Rangers that need a bedding in period. They've not trained. They need to get a house. They need to do this. They need to do that. This boy has said on his presser today, yes, he's played 2 games against for Albania in international duty. That's good. He's got minutes in his legs for me, and he wants to play.
He's had a full pre-season. He's had a full pre-season.
There is zero reasons apart from he doesn't know the names of the players in the park. I don't care. Play him. I want to play him. He has to play in the 10. I'm sick of giving these guys umpteen weeks to bed in and we see them for 20 minutes here and there. He's got to play. And I'll tell you what, see if he doesn't play him and Sunday goes the wrong way, the fans will turn on him big style. They will. So it's a big statement. For me, it's an easy one for Clement. He has to play him. I agree with you. Why spend £4 million on the number 10 we have been crying out for all season and not play him against Dundee United? Has to play, and it'll be interesting at just before 11 o'clock on Sunday what that team is. If it's Tom Lawrence is at 10, Carney, just go on to Rangers Twitter and have a look.
Yes, I would agree with that. Ross, I think you could put an argument forward if we had players in the number 10 role that were firing right now and they were absolutely on form. We don't. Tom Lawrence is struggling for form and it's clear for everybody to see. It's an area of the pitch that we all spoke about during the transfer window that Rangers would have to go invest in if we were going to persist with a number 10, which clearly we are now with the signing of him. He has to play on Sunday, right?
Now, I don't know if you can read that there. This is Tom Lawrence is the number 10 for me. I'm not joking, lads. I don't think he's going to play.
Don't say
Pick
that,
him off the podcast, Carney. Where did you get him from?
I know. Have a good
hell, youth today, eh?
The youth of today.
I think that's simply just from the history of Clement with not playing these players. I mean, he was right quick to say the whole thing. He's not played, etc. You know, the curtains haven't been put up yet. You know, there's whatever. But I'd love nothing more than Bajrami to play again. I've got the Albania shirt in the wardrobe waiting to come out, but just with the history of the short history of Clement and giving players time to bed in, I don't agree with it at all. I do not agree with it a bit. I don't think he's going to start, lads. I'm sorry, I hope that.
Ross, can I clear something up? Is that your choice? Not if you were picking the team. No, it's just what you think Clement's going to do.
It's what I think Clement's going to do. Mate. You're right. He needs to start. And it sounds daft even saying that he's not because it makes logical sense, but. I don't know, gents. We'll see on Sunday at 11 o'clock, and I hope that I've got egg on my face, but I think you'll see that number 11 and Lawrence play. Oh, I don't know, gents. I'm getting absolutely slaughtered in the comments. I'm going to go and hide my red face.
Don't worry about it, mate. It's your opinion. Look. See, there's a wee bit in the back of my mind, Ross, that's thinking exactly the same thing. I'm going, he's not going to play him. And even after his comments today, honestly, I listened to it in the car while I was at work today, and I was like, I was sitting going, nope, don't say things like that. Nope, literally just saying that over and over again. Don't say things like that. Because I had the back in the field and I'm going, he's going to say he needs time to bed in here. What are we doing? Like, why are we doing this? It's Dundee United we're playing. Oh, well, what? 11 o'clock. Alistair, I can't wait for Alistair's reaction to it as well, by the way. I'm very much looking forward to that. It should be good to see if Tom Lawrence starts in the 10. We'll move on to Dundee United themselves, gentlemen. They are a point ahead of us in the league so far after 4 games, which is rather depressing to say, but they are, and that's where they are. Ali, they've started pretty well in terms of in terms of how a season goes for Dundee United. What do you expect from them on Sunday? I think they'll do their darndest to make it as frustrating as possible for Rangers, and then see what they can get out of it, because ultimately we are still a wee bit of a wounded animal right now. I think it's been a long time since that Old Firm game now. It feels like a long time since then. We've been probably wanting a game to come a lot quicker than it did. Clement said that himself. He'd have liked the game literally the next day or at least 3 days afterwards, but we've had to dwell on this a little bit. There has to be changes from Rangers on Saturday and Sunday. Rangers have to look different. Whatever way it may be, we have to look different. But what do you expect from Dundee United?
I'll be honest. I think, listening to Jim Goodwin, I think they fancy it. And fair play to them. If I was playing Rangers right now, I'd fancy myself against them. So I think Dundee United will come out and have a go at us. I really do. I think they will. I just, when you're looking back at the previous games, they went away to Tynecastle. I know Hearts haven't been playing well, but they've went away to Tynecastle and got the result, beating St Mirren this season as well. So I think they'll come and have a go at Rangers on Sunday. I really do. Because if you look at Rangers, we're not great this season at all. But like, as I say, if I was looking at Rangers, I'd honestly have a go at us, see what we've got, and then obviously see what happens. But yeah, in terms of us, needs to mix it up a wee bit with the team. These new guys have to come in. But in terms of Dundee United, I think they'll have a go at us, which may suit Rangers because the game may open up. But I don't think they'll sit and frustrate us, can they? I really don't. I think they'll have a go.
I think you will to an extent, mate. I think you will to an extent. I don't think you'll go full guns blazing because
I think full on like Celtic.
I think you'll wait and see what Rangers show up. And as you always say, mate, the first 10 minutes will tell you everything you need to know about Rangers. And I think that's probably the way he'll approach it. If he sees that we are still very much licking our wounds, I expect him to try and put the foot on the throat. I really do, and to go for it. So it's an important game on Sunday. There's absolutely zero doubt about it. Any wavering from 3 points on Sunday is not going to land very well with the Rangers support. We have to win on Sunday. It really is as simple as that. Ross, what's your expectations ahead of the game on Sunday?
I'd have visions of Glenn Middleton scoring against his lads, honestly. It's no. Look, they've obviously had a good start to the season. It's a place that I remember that one each game was at Rebo a few seasons ago. It's not been an easy venue to go to. One that I wish we played in more frequently last season with the Dundee floods, but that's a conversation for another time. But they've scored in every game so far this season, and spoiler alert for the prediction, lads, I think they'll score again. But it should be a game like any game we should be coming away with 3 points. There's not one player in there's maybe one at right back. They just discussed that I think Dundee would better us in a position. I think at the end of the day, lads, for Rangers, Dundee United shouldn't scare us as much as they do just now. So yeah, we'll see what happens. There's a big response needed from the weekend. There's changes needed to be made. I don't know if you'll get all the changes that we want, but we need to step on from the weekend because the moods in terms of on the pitch is far from good. So all needs a performance and a bit of positivity to go into the rest of our week next week.
Yeah, absolutely. Alistair?
Justin Muir, as always, what a man. And we will be coming to Texas. Carney has approved it. He signed it off for us for next year. God bless America. And I see Kevin in the chat there. Obviously, he's a Rangers fan. Celtic 8 points ahead on Saturday. They probably will, to be honest. So it's good to see that he's listened to us tonight.
Yeah, supporting our podcast. Can't thank you enough for that, mate. You are benefiting our Rangers podcast. Some man. I really do appreciate that. We'll move on to teams and scores. Quickly, on my say about it, I think Rangers just need to win. I really do. I'm the same. I've got no idea. I'm looking forward to it. Don't get me wrong. I want Clement to be brave. I want Clement to play the players that I think we all think should be played. And I want him to go for it. And he now has these players in. He's made the signings that he has made. It's time he bloody well uses them. That's the point that I'm at. We can't continue with the same people that have failed. So we have to change it. We have to do something different. We have to get something going. We have to go on a run of results now, where we don't drop any points really until the next time we face Celtic. Really, as simple as that. Jim Sloan, good to see you, mate. Thank you so much.
Sloan, as always.
Thank you very much. Cheers, Jim. Much appreciated. Thank you so much. Ali, your team and your score for Sunday.
Oh, God. Here we go. And I agree with Kevin in the comments. We will be 8 points behind going into Sunday. But my Rangers team, or what I think Clement's Rangers team will be. Jack Butland in goal. This will annoy everyone in the comments. I think, as I said, Tav will be at right back.
Yeah.
The new boy, I think somebody says in the chat, I heard Clement refer to him as, is it Nana? They're giving to him as his nickname.
You only got attacked by your dog there.
Yeah, was he in the back there?
It's because you picked Tav at right back, mate.
I think it was. He wasn't happy about that. He's just behind us there. Yeah, I'm dropping John Suter. So I'm putting the new boy, I'm going to say Nana. He's sitting there beside Proper. Left back will be Jeffy. Middle of park will be Connor Barron, Diamande, Berjami as the 10 has to play. Dessers through the middle, Cherny on the right. Now, if it was me and Danilo was fit and sitting on the bench, I would have played Igaman on the left-hand side, but I don't think he will. I think he'll play. I'm looking at Cortez is apparently back, but I don't think he'll risk him. I think Tom Lawrence might play on the left-hand side for Rangers because he's played there previously for Derby. I think he could play out there. So Tom Lawrence on the left. And I'm going to go, I think Dundee United will score against us. I think it'll be tight. But all I want is for Rangers to win on Sunday. 2-1 Rangers. And the new man who's going to score from outside the box for us.
Berjami or
Berjami, sorry.
Berjami. I don't know what his name is. Berjami. We'll find out soon. I would agree. I think we didn't actually speak about the centre half position. That did look pretty shaky. I don't mind John Suter in some matches, and I think a game against Dundee United, I think he would be just fine. I don't think that change will happen. I think it'll be Suter and Proper, and he'll try and build that relationship. I think left back, it's interesting considering what options we have at left wing. Will he play Fraser at left wing? Will he move Jeffy further forward and play Jeffy there? I'm not sure. Obviously, the injury update was Matondo, Danilo, and Yilmaz are out. They're not available. So, Toyin, I would. What I would play, because I want to see something different, is the same back four as you picked. Well, no, with Suter even. I don't think he'll change the back line. But from the midfield, I'd play Barron, Raskin, Berjami. On the left, I'd play Cortez. If he can get 60 minutes out of him, I would play Cortez. I'd play Igamani through the middle, and I'd play Cherny on the right-hand side. That's what I would play. I don't think he will. I think he'll start with Dessers, but that's what I would play because it's something different and it's the players that he's went and signed. So get them on the pitch, get them playing, and let's see what they can do. It really is as simple as that for me. I think he'll go with Dessers on the left hand side. I really don't know what he's going to do. It depends how fit Cortez is. I'm going to go positive and I'm going to go for 3-1 Rangers, and I'm going to go for as well. I'll go for Bajrami to score anytime. And score on his debut. That's what I'll go with. Ross, your score and your team prediction, please. And put a hard hat on, because if you say Tom Lawrence, there's going to be things flung your way from the comments, mate.
I think the Windies are bulletproof. I think I'm gonna wind people up here, but I completely agree with you, Scott, mate. I think that your team that you mentioned, I'd completely agree. We need to start doing something different, and that is by playing new boys, playing people who even folk. And again, I know people aren't a big fan of them. Your likes of maybe down the line, your Leon Kings, maybe not for the weekend, but like just anybody different who's we can't keep whipping the same folk. But anyways, my team for the weekend, strap yourselves in. We have Jack Butland in goal. Tav proper going to bring in. He's going to keep Suter, sorry. Then Jeff at left back. I think the midfield, Barron, Diamande, number 11, the Welshman we all love, Tom Lawrence. And I'm going to go out wide. I go Tierney on the right. I think he's going to play Sterling on the wing. I think if apparently McCausland has a knock. I'll also be playing him out there. He played on the left last weekend. The 2 weekends before. I'd love to see Cortez. I think it's maybe just a wee bit too early. If it means bringing him on, even at a half time, to get him some minutes, brilliant. And D9 up front. So I would love nothing more than Bajrami to play. I hope that he does. That's the team I think Clement will pick. We just need something different, Rangers. And you're right, it needs different players. We need some sort of statement against, don't get me wrong, a good team that we're coming up against. It's not going to be easy, especially the dreaded 12 o'clock Sunday kickoff. So I'm going 2-1 Rangers and Diamande from outside the box. I think I'm going to see one of them, but just 3 points Rangers and a Bajrami goal, please, and thank you.
Yeah, I hope your score prediction's right. I hope your team selection's not right, mate. I really do. I'm not going to lie. I hope it's not that, because I don't want to be seeing Tom Lawrence in the 10. Not when you've been out and signed that striker. But I will admit to the wee bit in the back of my mind going, he's going to play him. Anyway, that will do us for tonight, gentlemen. We will be back on Sunday with club reaction, win, lose or draw. That is for absolute sure. And if you want more content from us, as I say, please head over to our Patreon. For less than a pint of beer a month, you can get so much more from Club at 22 with loads of shows on various different Rangers topics. Alistair, for tonight, thank you very much for joining me, mate.
No problem. Like I say, I will look forward to seeing Rangers on Sunday at 12 o'clock. Whether I will have to watch it in the pub or not, I do not know. Whether I need alcohol to watch Rangers, I'm not sure yet. But yeah, there's Justin Muir. Imagine we disappeared to Texas, Carney, and he actually came over here. We missed each other. That'd be brilliant, wouldn't it? But no, definitely, Justin. You can come down the Viceroy and all the drinks will be in Carney. Don't you worry.
Sick.
Just so Carney under the bus. No, look, like I say, looking forward to having Rangers back on Sunday, but just winning Sunday, Rangers, that is all I ask. Yes, I would love a performance and love to see the new guys, but we need a win to kickstart and go on a run. So, as always, it is over to you, Rangers.
Yes, and Ross, thank you very much, mate.
Thank you as always, gents. Thank you. Yeah. Like what I was saying, so to you, Rangers, there's a fair bit of making up to do for a few weeks ago, and it all begins on Sunday. We've got a tricky few months ahead. It's hard to kid yourself on and say that we don't, but games like these, like Dundee United away, it looks like they're going to be hard fixtures. See if we can go away there and get just a convincing win, just something that's going to up the spirit. Rangers, you know what to do. So, aye. A part of me starting to get excited. You start after international break, you think, starting to get into it. But let's just hope that I'm feeling the same way after the game on Sunday. So, thank you as always, gents. And, yep, let's be having you, Rangers.
Yes, Rangers, please go out and do the business on Sunday and give us something to get behind. Show something a little different, and let's try and kickstart the season as much as we possibly can. A defeat is a no-go. It is really as simple as that. So play up the famous Glasgow Rangers. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. We have been Club at 22, the Rangers podcast, and we will speak to you all next time. Cheers, everybody.